Hey, good morning, CC3 students. All right, today um, we are going to be doing systems of equations with graphing. So you're going to notice the question looks like this. If you get a question like this, these are not terribly hard. These are already in slope-intercept form. So this type, not that difficult. What you need to do is you're going to notice they give you a graph here. They'll give you a blue line and like a reddish pinkish line. The blue line goes for the first equation, the reddish pinkish line goes for the second equation. So you might notice the y-intercept for the first one is -2 and the slope is 4. So for the blue line, we need to take and we need to give it a y-intercept of -2, as I did right here, and a slope of 4, which means up 4 over 1. Remember, if it's not a fraction, you can always put it over 1 to make it a fraction. And then you have your rise over run, 4 over 1, so up 4 over 1. Then, for the second line, the y-intercept on this, what do you think it is? +3, I hope you said. Good. Hey, I don't see a number in front of that x. I wonder what they mean the slope should be for that. What do you think? Hopefully, you said the slope of that would be 1, or the same as 1 over 1. So as we graph the pink line, it would look like this. We start at +3, goes up 1 over 1. So starts at +3, up 1 over 1. Now, these two lines cross right here. You'll notice if I bring that straight down, on the x-coordinate, it's like 1 and something, 1 and a half, 1 and 2/3, 1 and 3/4. So this one or this one could be correct. B or C could be, or I'm sorry, B or D could be correct. 2/3 wouldn't make sense because that doesn't cross at 2/3. 2/3 would be over here. Then for the y, notice that it crosses somewhere between 4 and 5. So we need the answer to be between 4 and 5. Well, between B and D, the only one that crosses at 4 would be letter D. So our answer, as you can see I've highlighted right here, is letter D. Okay, that's the easier type. A little bit more difficult is the second type that you might get. And you'll notice that the answer is a little different on this sometimes as well. This one, we need to graph these two equations, but they're not in slope-intercept form. So the first job that we have to do is we have to take both equations. So we'll take this equation first, and we're going to make that in slope-intercept form, meaning we're going to solve for y or get y all by itself. So we've already done this in class together, so I'm not going to take a lot of time on this, but just kind of a quick refresher. If I want to get the y all by itself, remember the first step is I need to cancel a -7x. Well, how do you cancel -7x? You add 7x to both sides. So the 7x's would cancel on this side, but if I add 7x to this side, I get 7x plus 14. Then, step number 2. Where currently -2 is being multiplied by y, so the inverse of that would be to divide by -2. That gives me y by itself. When I divide 7x divided by -2, I get -7 over 2x. I always put the negative with the top number, not the bottom number, just so you know that. Then when I take +14 and divide that by -2, oh, do you notice I made a mistake right there? Ooh, look at that. So let's just quickly fix that to the best of my ability. We are going to put that should be -7, guys. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can just replace that. Boom, let's bring that right up there. It's the best I can do right there. That should be a -7, okay? So it's good we fix these things. You can see even teachers make mistakes as we work these through. Now, second one, we need to put this one into y equals mx plus b format right there. So let's do that as well. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm first going to subtract 6x from both sides. That's where you can see that came from. Then I'm going to divide everything by 6. So -6 divided by 6 is -1x, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now, when I go to graph those, so remember the first line, the top one, is your blue. The blue had a y-intercept of -7, so I put that down here at -7. You know, if I try to go down 7 over 2 from there, think about that. If I try to go down 7, I'm going to be off the graph. So what's the opposite of going down 7 over 2 to the right? it would be going up 7 and backwards 2. So I chose to do up 7 and back 2 in order to graph that blue line. The other one has a y-intercept of positive 3, so we start that right here at positive 3. And then our slope is negative 1, meaning down 1 over 1. So down 1 over 1. Now, once you correctly have them graphed, where does this one cross? And by the way, if they ever give you an answer where you just have to plug in numbers, it will always be a whole number or an integer of some type. You don't have to worry about decimals and fractions at that point. So those two cross over here at negative 4, which is my x, and up at positive 7, which is my y. So if you get this type, remember, you have to change it into y equals mx plus b. Then once you do that, graph it, and then find out where the two lines cross, just similar to this one. If they give it to y equals mx plus b, you just need to graph them both, and then find out where the two cross and answer your question. Hopefully this isn't too difficult for you. If you need to, I am at home ready to help you 9 to 11 or 1 to 3. Don't hesitate to reach out for help. I'm happy to help. Thanks, guys. Bye.